Now, NATO member Albania says it's ready to take in members of the terrorist Mujahideen Khalq organization currently residing in a former US military base in Iraq. Albanian Prime Minister Sali Berisha said in a statement that the Balkan state will host 210 MKO members following the demands of both US officials and the United Nations. The members of the anti-Iran terrorist group currently live at Camp Liberty near Baghdad. The UN envoy in Iraq, Martin Kobler, and US Deputy Assistant Secretary of State Barbara Leaf held talks Saturday with Albanian officials over the issue. Washington took the MKO off its terror list last year, echoing the moves in 2008 and 2009 of Britain and the European Union. Iraq itself wants the terror group to leave. MKO members fled to Iraq in the 1980s and are estimated to have killed over 17,000 Iranian civilians and officials since 1979. They've also carried out numerous terrorist acts against Iraqi civilians. Let's talk to Mark Glenn with the Crescent and Cross Solidarity Movement from Idaho. Welcome to the programme. So, Mr. Glenn, first of all, a terrorist group that even attempted on several American officials and civilians gets delisted. First of all, why have them delisted?
Well, let's be clear about this. They didn't just attempt the lives of several Americans. They actually succeeded in killing several Americans. Indeed. To get them delisted, this was a quasi-political and a strategic move, I believe, because I believe that it's the intention of not just the United States government, but also of Israel, to utilize these very well-trained terrorists to carry out operations around the world. And this is a very difficult thing, obviously, to accomplish if they are sitting there locked up in Iraq, in Camp Liberty and other places. How much better to delist them so that they can go about the business of raising money around the world, which they are now doing legally, and at the same time receiving high technical, very technically advanced military training so that they can carry out terrorist attacks in Iran or wherever Israel and the United States deem that they should be doing that.
And of course, now they get a new home in the Balkans and in a NATO member country. Albania has said that this was on a humanitarian reason, this move. Was that the case, or is it a case that some say is more sinister?
I think that it's more sinister because we have to remember, of course, that Albania, and particularly Kosovo, is home to the KLA, and they are a particularly murderous group of drug runners and terrorists who have been utilized for operations around the world. I think that this omens very badly the fact that of all the places that they could be going, that they're going to be going to Albania, where they may be rubbing shoulders with former members of the KLA. The kinds of training that the KLA received from NATO and from the United States has been particularly lethal in all sorts of operations, not just terrorism, but drug running as well. And I can foresee the day coming where this is going to come back and bite us in a very serious way. So I tend to agree with you. There is something much more sinister here. It has nothing to do with humanitarian concerns. There is something big afoot, and I think that it's going to end up in a very nasty way.
Indeed. Well, we'll have to leave it there for the time being. Many thanks to Mark Glenn with the Crescent and Cross Solidarity Movement from Idaho. As always, thanks for your time there, sir.